lose all respect for my wife if she does not apologize for this. I just can't wait to find out what she did. This story came fairly recently, December 6th, 2025. My wife and I have 3 kids. Thursday, my wife was helping our 9-year-old with her homework. She was supposed to fill in a chart with the times tables. That was a hectic day. Our 4-year-old threw up and I was trying to clean him up, and my wife was having trouble getting our 9-year-old to focus on what she was doing because she kept looking over at me. Our 9-year-old hates math and is pretty bad at it, which annoys my wife, who is usually fantastic at math. My wife asked our daughter what 7 times 7 was. Our daughter said she didn't know. My wife kept telling her to try and think of any answer. She kept saying she didn't know. My wife was getting frustrated. Our daughter finally guessed 37. My wife said, close, 47. Our 13-year-old then said, no, Mom, it's 49. My wife snapped at that point and told him to shut up and go upstairs. He went into the backyard instead. You know what? Math ruins everything. I hate math. And all those teachers that one day you're gonna use this. I haven't used any of it. None of it. That I was drawing with, the pencil and the circle thing and the acute triangle. Girl, never used that in my life. All right? Never have. I can't at this point. I won't even know how. I'm going on a rant. But what would have been helpful with math? How about budgeting? How about teaching me how to do my taxes? That would have been very helpful. Anyways. He went into the backyard instead. She took a deep breath and then went into our room. I finished with our 4-year-old and then I went outside. I tried to talk to him, but he didn't want to listen. He kept saying, but Dad, 7 times 7 is 49. I told him that his mom just got frustrated and didn't mean to yell at him. He kept insisting that 7 times 7 is 49, which I am aware of, so I got nowhere. I went back inside to talk to my wife. She said that she knew she shouldn't have yelled. She said she was frustrated because he was distracting her, and that is why she made the mistake. I pointed out that she made the mistake before he said anything. She started crying and asked why I was being so critical. I apologized and told her that I loved her. We hugged it out, but then I asked her if she was going to go and apologize to her 13-year-old. She said no, because he shouldn't have interrupted her. She said that he was rude and needed to learn not to interrupt. Now, I'm not a parent and I'm not going to pretend to be, but I feel like telling your kid to shut up is not the way to teach that lesson of not interrupting. I told her it's not okay to tell him to shut up. We went back and forth, and finally I said I won't be able to respect her as much if she doesn't apologize. That really hurt her. She said she needed space. She hasn't said a word to me or him since Thursday. I know that what I said is harsh, but I can't respect someone who won't apologize when they made a mistake. Am I the a-hole? My sister says I am because I'm not being supportive, and our 13-year-old is a lot. Then he made an edit to the same post later. My wife got up before our alarm and started cleaning our bathroom. I started the laundry and I made breakfast. She didn't say a word when she sat down to eat. She ate much faster than normal. She stood up, picked up our 4-year-old, and told our 9-year-old to get ready because they were going to the library. She didn't say anything to our 13-year-old. I told her we needed to talk and she shook her head. I followed her upstairs and insisted that we need to talk, and she just kept shaking her head. She went into our 4-year-old's room and locked the door. I went downstairs and told our 13 and 9-year-olds that we are going to the dog park. They both asked if Mom was okay, and I said yes, and that she just needed some space. I grabbed some clothes for our 9-year-old from the laundry room, and she got changed in the downstairs bathroom. We are at the dog park, and my wife is refusing to answer my texts. I'm starting to think this isn't about math. That would be so hard to deal with. I gotta hear from parents out there. When you get married and you welcome a kid into your life, if you disagree on parenting styles and stuff, how do you work through that? I feel like that's gotta be difficult, especially if you're not like eye to eye on how we're gonna handle this lesson and this moment of parenting. Oh my gosh. That must be really difficult. How do you work through that? I'm genuinely curious. We have an update, and it came 2 days later. Yesterday, which was Sunday, my wife wanted to take the 2 younger children to the library. I tried to talk to her, but she locked herself out in our 4-year-old's room. I took our older 2 children to the dog park, and she took our 4-year-old to the library. At the dog park, I talked to our 13-year-old. I explained to him that a lot was going on right now and that his mother was overwhelmed. I said that sometimes when a person is overwhelmed, the next thing that happens, good, bad, or neutral, is the thing that pushes them over, and the source of that thing, good, bad, or neutral, is what they lash out at. I said that mom was wrong to lash out at him, but it wasn't his fault and she didn't really mean it. I said that she was embarrassed and that's why she was avoiding him. He said that it wasn't fair and we kept going back and forth. I was trying to help him understand he didn't do anything wrong and shouldn't feel bad, but all he could focus on was that he was being treated unfairly. I told him that it was unfair, but that his mom isn't perfect and everyone makes mistakes. I said, sometimes he is unfair, but we forgive him because we love him. I said forgiving his mom, even though she is wrong, would be a nice way to show his love for her, but that he doesn't have to. Again, he just said that the situation was unfair, which it is. It really is. After the dog park, I took our 13-year-old to a friend's house and our 9-year-old to a friend of mine's house. I went home and I made dinner. However, my wife went out for dinner with our 4-year-old, so she didn't get home until after I had put everything away. I told her that we had to talk now that the older kids aren't here and that not talking wasn't an option anymore. She still ignored me, so I said that if she would not engage with me, I would have to call our sisters and get them to come over to help me. She got very angry, but she finally engaged. She told me that she is drowning. She said work is exhausting and every day when she gets home, her patience is already below 0. She is scared and upset by our 4-year-old's stomach issues. She said he threw up again at dinner. She really shouldn't have taken him out to eat because we were supposed to keep track of everything he eats before throwing up or not throwing up before today's appointment, which is impossible to do at a restaurant, but I didn't mention that. She said she can't take our 13-year-old's behavior anymore. I said he didn't do anything wrong on Thursday. She said that when we were that age, if we interrupted our parents to tell them they were wrong, we would have been punished severely. She said we raised a spoiled, entitled child. She said she could never get any peace and quiet in our home that we worked hard to pay for because we have a spoiled teen that refuses to ever stop talking or making noise. I said we have been working on those behaviors and he has been improving, but she lashed out when he was trying to be helpful and that sends the wrong message. She told me that I was not supporting her. She said she needs things to change. She said we need to crack down and stop being so lenient. If he plays the recorder after we told him that he's done for the night, we need to take it. If he interrupts, he goes straight to his room. If he argues about curfew, he needs to lose privileges. I told her we need to take a step back. I said if she is overwhelmed, she needs to take a break. I told her this heightened emotional state is a bad time to make huge household changes. I suggested, like many commenters did, that she get a hotel for a few days and decompress. She said she's not the problem, I didn't say she was, and that he is. She said that he was bad from the beginning. She said when our daughter didn't have all his issues, she thought it was because she's a girl, but our 4-year-old is a boy and is also better behaved, so he is the problem. Every child is so different, though. My parents got stuck with, when you combine 4 girls and then in the very end, very later in life, we finally got a boy, but even 4 girls, all very different kids growing up. By combine, if you're new here, I have a stepsister and a half-brother, in case you're confused. She also said I've always seen it and I used to admit it, but I stopped just to make her look crazy. For context, I used to joke that our 13-year-old is challenging because he likes to be outside so much. He loves animals and loves playing on his recorder. Changeling? Not challenging. What the is changeling?
Changeling.
Changeling. A child believed to have been secretly substituted by fairies for the parent's real child in infancy. Okay, I learned a new word. I used to joke that our 13-year-old is changeling because he likes to be outside so much, loves animals, and loves playing on his recorder. I want to stress that this was a joke. The reason I stopped making this joke is because I noticed my wife didn't find it funny anymore. This was years ago anyway. I said all that. She said no, that I saw even then that he is wrong, but stopped acknowledging it to make her feel like she is the problem. She also said that she has been seeing an online therapist. I had no idea. She said she didn't tell me because she was embarrassed. Her therapist told her that our son has dangerous tendencies and shows signs of being contemptuous towards women because he doesn't respect his mother. I had no idea how to respond to that. Yeah, this isn't about math anymore. I said any therapist who would say something like that about a child they've never met shouldn't be licensed. And if it's an online therapist, for all she knows, they aren't. At the end of our conversation, she agreed to go to a hotel, but only if she took our 4-year-old with her because she wanted to be the one to take him to his medical appointment. I didn't think that was a good idea at all. However, she ended up just taking him and going. I picked up the kids and I brought them home. They sensed that something is wrong and we were very subdued this morning getting ready for school. I talked to my boss when I came in and he's going to let me leave early to go to our 4-year-old's medical appointment. I am not sure what will happen there. I am hoping it will be good news and that will make us all feel less on edge. This is going way deeper than just a math problem. So I guess math doesn't ruin everything, but just some things. We have more updates, but we're hydrating. It's hydration station. Sorry, not sorry. Drink your water. Oh, that was aggressive. Cheers. Just another daily reminder that social media can be fake and lighting is absolutely everything. Ooh, you have such nice skin. Not that I don't have nice skin. I used to have very bad acne and my skin has definitely cleared up. I did 2 rounds of Accutane, 1 in adulthood as well. But just to keep it real, let's not forget that lighting changes everything. I have a bunch of acne scars on this side of my face and then right here on this part of my cheek. See all the texture? Skin has texture, but from back here you'd be like, oh, I wouldn't know. Why do I look so oily also? Well, now I'm concerned. We have an update and it came 8 days later, December 16th. I retrieved our 4-year-old at his doctor's appointment the next day. She stayed at the hotel alone Monday and Tuesday night. Wednesday, she told me she quit her job. She did not quit her job. A concerned coworker of hers reached out and revealed the truth. She was suspended for yelling at a coworker to shut up. The irony. She picked the kids up from school and daycare on Wednesday. After they were asleep, I confronted her. We fought and she went to stay with my sister. With my sister's influence, she called her boss and managed to work out a compromise where she won't be fired and can have some mental health leave. She didn't see the kids all weekend, even when my sister picked them up on Sunday to take them to a party. She is back home now, so here's where the real update starts. I had our 13-year-old evaluated by a child psychologist like so many Redditors suggested. If you learn anything from my experience, learn not to take medical advice from Reddit. Our son is not autistic and does not have ADD. The psychologist said the only thing he comes close to is meeting the diagnostic criteria for anxiety, but based on their discussion and the paperwork I filled out, she is confident those symptoms come from external stressors, not an anxiety disorder. My wife came home after work, and when our son arrived home from his friend's house, she did apologize to him. Okay. He forgave her and they hugged it out, but it was an awkward interaction. Afterwards, he went outside to play with his new harmonica. My daughter doesn't have a learning disability. I talked to her teacher. Her math skills are average for her age group, according to the teacher. The teacher suggested that if she's struggling to do the math work at home, it is because she feels pressured. I ended up telling her that she can do the work in whatever time frame she wants, and she can have her brother check it out with her. So neither her mother nor I will know if she even made a mistake. You know what? Growing up, definitely a thing. Because sometimes parents would get mad if you didn't know the answer to things. And that's not a good feeling, and it's not encouraging, and it's not supportive, and it makes you absolutely feel the stress of, I better know how to figure out this math equation. She seems happy with this new agreement. I think my wife and I were too critical in our eagerness to encourage her to work hard and do well, and I accept responsibility for that. Our 4-year-old is allergic to soy. Since I stopped feeding him anything with soy in it, he hasn't vomited once. An allergy at 4 years old? Come on, man. There's soys in so many things. He will soon be reintroduced to soy in very small doses to acclimate him. He is doing much better, and this has relieved a huge source of stress. As for my wife, as I said, she apologized to our son. She said talking to my sister helped a lot. She told me the reason that she has been so overwhelmed and she lashed out was the realization that we aren't going to have another kid and that the 3 of us are it. She said she is worried that our kids are spoiled and soft. She said she wants our kids to bypass their peers, and she doesn't see that happening right now because they are too undisciplined and unmotivated. Seems like she's putting a lot of pressure on these kids and also herself and the expectations she has on these kids. Let them be kids, man. She said some of her dad's parenting might be what they need. I told her I would never be okay with that and that would be a deal breaker for me. I also told her I don't see how anxiety about the kids caused her to lash out at work. I said that I think she's frustrated by the fact that she can't control people. She said that's unfair, and I apologize, but I also said I think that an issue similar to what I said is likely the culprit. We agreed to a compromise where she tries to relax until she leaves for her trip with my sister. If she feels she's getting stressed out, she will leave for as long as needed. We will talk about parenting strategies again after she gets back. I have hired a lawyer and I didn't tell her. If she again tries to insist that we go full authoritarian on these kids, I will raise the possibility of divorce. I love my wife, but I owe it to my kids to put them first. Oh my gosh. I am not qualified. We have another update. Thank God. December 31st, 15 days later. I was going to say, do you think they're going to get divorced? No, I don't think they're going to get divorced, but I don't know if it gets better. Listen, I just need to vent. My wife is on vacation with my sister after a mini mental breakdown. She just WhatsApped me that she isn't coming back. She said she needs to make some changes and the new year is the perfect time. She told me that a startup working on a cause she's passionate about is looking for someone in her field. She's taking the job and moving to the opposite coast. She's having a crisis. What's happening? Shock doesn't feel like the right word. It doesn't feel big enough. She wanted to stress that she isn't leaving me, that she just needs to pursue her passion. She said if the startup takes off, we can all move to where she's going and resettle and get a fresh start. She also said that this new job is closer to the clinic our son's pediatrician recommended for his allergy treatment. I started to argue with her, but then I deleted the message. We're doing okay without her, as awful as that sounds. Maybe she needs this. I looked into this startup. I don't think it will take off, but maybe she just needs a break from us to recenter herself. So I told her I love her, that I believe in her, and that I'm proud of her for following her dreams. What else could I say? My sister is pissed at her for abandoning us, and this has pretty much ruined their trip. I think I should feel bad about it, but I'm too burnt out. 2026, it is going to be a year. And we have a final update that came in 2026. All right, the final update came January 4th, 2026, 4 days later. I have an appointment with a lawyer tomorrow to file for divorce. Ooh, my prediction was wrong. In my last update, I told people that my wife wasn't coming home, but I still think I can fix things if I gave her space. I no longer believe that. Several of you, most of you, not very nicely, told me she had abandoned our family. I didn't want to believe it, but you are right. I picked my sister up from the airport this morning, and we had a long conversation where she filled in some details. When my wife, her sister, and my sister and her wife got to the resort, everything was fine at first. It didn't take long for my wife's sister to show her ass, though. She called my sister a slur, then she called my sister's wife a slur in regards to their relationship, let's just say, because I can't say the word. So that caused a huge fight. My wife cursed out her sister, rightfully, and moved into the room my sister was sharing with her to get away from her sister. That's a lot of sisters, but you guys follow? I'm following. But do you?
I understand. nothing.
My wife told my sister more about the situation with the kids. She said she feels that she failed our oldest and that he is completely beyond help. She said he is so disrespectful and obnoxious and she doesn't understand how she let it get to this point. Our son, by the way, made his little siblings breakfast and played Monopoly with them while I was up crazy early, picking up my sister and her wife from the airport. Evil child, clearly. My sister told my wife our oldest is just a teenager and that she is attaching significance to really insignificant things. My sister said teenagers are all annoying, but it's so true. I was annoying. Kid, teen, young, I'm still annoying. My sister said teenagers are all annoying, but it isn't the end of the world. My wife said her dad wouldn't put up with that kind of behavior. My sister pointed out that her dad raised her sister, who goes around calling people slurs. My wife said that it was her husband's influence, which whatever. My wife also said she thinks our daughter is stupid. My sister was shocked to hear that. Our daughter's academic performance at school is average. Most kids are average. That's what average means. She isn't stupid. She's normal. She's also learning. She's a kid. My wife talked about a startup in California and an old classmate of hers is going to work for her. They do work that she really believes in. She said she wanted to move to California to work for them and also so our youngest will be closer to a particular allergy clinic. My sister tried to tell her that it's all crazy, but that didn't work since my wife is currently on her way to California. Or maybe she already landed, I'm not sure. My sister is angry with my wife and doesn't ever want to talk to her again. They've always been close friends, so that really brought home to me how insane her behavior is. My sister thinks she is lying about having a job too. She thinks my wife is planning to apply in California and that no job offer has been made yet. I wouldn't believe that if not for her previous lie about her current job. Yeah, I don't know if she could get a job offer, especially if they wanted any references after what just happened. To protect myself, I opened a new bank account and switched my direct deposit. I also prepaid a lot of things that get paid from the joint account, so she can't drain it and leave us in a bad spot. I opened a new account specifically for the mortgage, transferred 6 payments into it, and put that on auto pay. I won't use it for anything else. I bought a bunch of gift cards from the grocery store that we will use as well, so if she does drain the account, we will be able to buy food. This is very smart thinking. I prepaid the daycare and school fees and activity fees for the kids as far as possible. I paid off and closed our joint cards. She still has her personal cards and I still have mine. This is going to be messy as hell and I am not looking forward to it. The worst thing is that the kids are sad their mom isn't coming home. Of course, I didn't tell them what she said about them. Our oldest thinks that she went to California to hang out with other cool people because we weren't cool enough for her. I told him that isn't true, but he doesn't believe me. I am just devastated by all of this. The person I'm supposed to be able to rely on abandoned me. And your children. This was all over a math equation. I had no idea that this story was going here. Parents, I'm gonna need you more than ever. I'm gonna need you in this comment chat, all right? Please shed some light on this. Stay classy out there, stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.